Hey y'all, let's continue. So, again, talking about early food production, people started making better tools for farming, right? Here's an example of a ancient sickle that we used to cut the grass, right? So, planting wooden sticks could be used to make holes to, plant the seeds. For chopping plants, sharpened stones with wooden handles would be used. So, people were creating this technology and it doesn't seem like technology because we think of technology as like our phones, iPhones, and that. But this was technology at the time, right? So then we had to also figure out the technology to keep the food that we grew. We had to keep it, right? Excuse me. So we had to figure out how to store the food, right? So people who were still nomadic, so they maybe had one location, but they would still travel, right? They maybe use leather baskets or straw, sorry, leather or straw baskets. But people who stayed in settlements, they could make things that were a little less portable, right? More permanent. So they were able to create pots, right? Like this example here of a clay pot. And this protected their food for much longer. So then, once they were able to protect their food, they figured out different ways to dry the food, different ways to smoke the food, different ways to grind up, right, like wheat and corn into flour, right? All of this technology for food production is being created tens of thousands of years ago. So now we have all this farming, right? Like the beautiful terraces in the Andes in this photo. So now we can start kind of trading, right? And farming and trading and all those things, they're going to lead to population growth, right? So now we can have people doing different activities or tasks, special tasks, because not everybody has to grow food, right? We have a surplus. So maybe this person can do art, this person can do medicine, this person can do science, math, statues, sculptures, right? All of a sudden, like we were talking with the Mesoamerican societies, Aztecs, Olmecs, Incas, Mayans, that now we have more specialized tasks because not everyone has to work for the food. But also farming and trading, right? You're in contact with a lot of people and we're staying in one location. It also had some consequences, right? And one of those consequences is that diseases could spread more quickly, right? We know this a perfect example of what we just lived all our lived through slash living through the COVID pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, right? Is that when people are in close quarters, like you can see in the photo, and maybe not wearing a mask, it's easier for people to share germs, right? And so then people can get more sick. Also, people needed more land, right? Your population's growing. You're like, we need more food. So we need more space. But maybe this city is right here and this city's right here. So now it's going to lead to some conflict, right? Because we want more land. No, we want more land. So then you start seeing evidence in history of maybe walls being built to protect their farm or to protect the city, right? So again, all of these things are, you can look at them as definitely like, right, the consequences, the disease and the war, and are not positives to come out of, this beginnings of tens of thousands of years ago, humans. And there were some positives. So then people start traveling long distances, right? I have this food and I can go because I got surplus food. I have extra food. So we go really, really far and we meet other people. But how do archaeologists know that people travel these long distances, right? Well, they have found evidence of obsidian, which there's a picture right here. And these tools were found in places really far. The cool thing about obsidian, though, is you can study it and you can find out exactly where the obsidian came from because it comes from rocks in volcanoes, right? So then you can know, oh, this came from this volcano. This came from this volcano. I'm going to pause there, pick up in a second.